Hey, I should think we're now live, but I'm just going to double check and make sure that all my audio and everything is working for the stream. So if you're watching this back on YouTube, feel free to skip maybe a minute into the stream, because it's just going to be me talking to myself, making sure that I've got all my audio up and running and that everything's all okay. It does sound okay, and we're only 30 seconds in, so things are looking good. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gavra Racing GT Sport League. We're here for the third mini-season on this game. We start at the Red Bull Ring for this one. I'll talk you through what we've got lined up for the next couple of weeks. So this is what I have called the Europe versus Asia mini-season. And it's almost pretty much self-explanatory. We've got half the grid in European Group 3 cars and the other half are in Asian cars. The aim of this is that there are 5 races, 2 of them are in Europe, 2 of them are in Asia, and the final race of the season is at a neutral ground of America. We've got 2 races lined up for you tonight here at the Red Bull Ring, one in the dry and one in the wet, both 20 minutes long, and all the points will be going towards a Drivers' and Constructors' Championship to see which continent makes the better cars. Is it Asia or is it Europe? You have to find out. We've got 7 drivers in each team, but only 10 drivers on the grid tonight. 4 of them unfortunately couldn't make it. But let's run you through the grid, and you can see by the cars what team everyone's on. Bonneville in the Genesis, driving for Team Asia, currently on provisional pole with a 127.5, and Cameron Kaboom in second in the BMW, currently running for Team Europe. Topster in the Nissan wasn't actually a signed up driver, but filled in as a replacement for Team Asia in the Nissan. Moves up into second place ahead of Cameron Kaboom. Simon at Apex, also on Team Asia in the Subaru. Wolfie, the highest European runner in the Aston Martin. Madman Jam, a new driver in the Gavra Racing community, supporting Team Asia in the Subaru. A lot of Asian drivers turning up tonight. Or a lot of the Asian teams, turning up tonight. Adidas is into the pits. I think he was in the Aston Martin. He's supporting Team Europe. We've got Santo in the BMW supporting Team Europe. Spin Master in the Ferrari at the back in Team Europe. So far in qualifying, it's looking good for Team Asia, who have a lot of their cars high up the grid. Can I not access the chat anymore? Oh, what's happening? Okay, I can't access the chat. There we go. 5 minutes left. So we're going to go when the timer hits 13. Got a little bit of a spin from the Ferrari. We had a few late joiners, so I'm going to give them a little bit of leeway with this. We've got 5 minutes left. Hello Billy Musu, sorry I got distracted by the comment. I do have the chat now popping up on the screen on my TV, so I will be able to see all the comments that are made. I don't have to keep up the stream on my phone. Just going to do another little mic check. Okay, and I think everything sounded great, so you get to hear the sound of my beautiful, lovely voice for the stream. We are back in again. We had a little bit of a break between the last mini-season and this one to go over the last mini-season. We had Group 2 Asian cars at Asian tracks, to which I was able to win the championship in my first mini-season. We've had 2 seasons, 2 champions, myself and Bonneville. One's gone in racing, one's gone into retirement. But hey, I might join back on the grid at some point during my what could be a long GT7 career, as this game's going to be out for quite the while. But let's get back to the mini-season, Europe versus Asia. Now there are some good European cars, there are some good Asian cars, but it's the test to see which one's going to come out on top at the end of these 5 races over the next 3 weeks. And different cars might perform better at different tracks and different weather conditions. We've kind of got 2 power tracks, Fuji and the Red Bull Ring. One is in Japan and one is Japan. One's in Japan, the other one is in Austria. One Europe, one Asia. So each team gets their home track. Obviously Red Bull Ring, we've got 3 or mainly 3 nice long straights. In Fuji, we've got that nice long straight start-finish straight. So they're kind of 2 power tracks. But then we head over to Watkins Glen in America for the season finale. A long 40-minute race, and it might not seem that long, but we've got 2 20-minute races for the 2 upcoming races at Fuji and the Red Bull Ring. One of the dry. Watkins Glen is going to be bone dry. It can't rain over in American tracks on this game. So that's kind of going to be like the final showdown after the first 4 races of the season. We effectively have 5 races over 3 weeks, which should make for a really interesting championship with lots of points up for grabs. We've got 2 extra bonus points for pole position, 1 point for the fastest lap in the race. We've got a few 3-second time penalties for drivers cutting the white line on the pit lane entrance or exit. I think I've covered everything that I need to in the settings. I don't think that there's anything more that you guys need to know. Let's go through the point system actually, because we're not using the same points as we did for the previous mini seasons. We're not using the same points as F1. So we've got 20 points for first. I'm going to go from first down to 10. So the top 10 score points, and it goes 20, 16, 13, 10, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the rest get 0 points available for anyone who finishes 11th or below. Hello and welcome to everyone tuning in to this beautiful day here at the Red Bull Ring. We've currently got 2 minutes left in qualifying. I know I like this feature, so bear with me whilst I type in the message. But I used to be able to pause the game and then the chat would come up in the middle. But next to the chat option would be start the race. And I always used to start the race. But now I can do this way, and I can not start the race by accident. Just go up into the chat, get the replay options available. It's what we love to see. I can't start the race by accident like I did in Deep Forest Raceway. Oh, someone has gone off with no one's getting away. I think that might have been Spin Master, who has now gone back to the pits. Born Evil, though, is on the provisional pole position spot with a 1 minute 27.5, 2 tenths ahead of Topster. So it's looking good for Team Asia, with 3 of their drivers in the top 3. Gavra Kaboom in the BMW in 4th place at the minute, ahead of Piero, who's in the Hyundai. Interesting choice of car, but he made it work well for him in the Nürburgring, the first ever mini-season race at the Nürburgring, where it had the torrential rain 60-odd% of the way through. Wolfie getting caught up to the back of Spin Master, both European drivers. Spin Master does move out of the way, and the Irishman goes through. The other Irishman goes through, in fact. We've actually got 2 American drivers on the grid. We've got Legion in the Mazda and Santo in the BMW. It's good to see that we've got loads of new, unfamiliar drivers, different names on the grid to what we're usually seeing. Qualifying is actually finished. At 8 minutes, I said... what did I say? I said 5 minutes from 8 minutes, so that's 13. We're at 13. I'm getting confused with my words. What am I trying to say? Last laps. That's what I'm wanting to say. I realise I haven't done that in the quickest way possible. I missed the keyboard. So Legion's just come out the pits, which means the last driver to set a lap will be the one behind him. So that's Cameron Kaboom. You can all see that, ladies and gentlemen, the last lap. And who is the first across the line? It's going to be Wolfie in 6th place, up to the line. He stays 6th place. What about Piero? Goes up into the pit ahead of Legion. Someone else has just crossed the line, and that is Spin Master. He will start no higher than 10th place. Born Evil in 1st place on provisional pole, runs wide at the penultimate corner. That could be a 5/10th penalty. He's ran wide at the final corner. How's he got away? No, he hasn't got away with it. Crosses the line. Is still on provisional pole. Can Simon the Apex knock him off provisional pole? No, he can't, because he's got a 5/10 penalty and does improve. So he might have been on with a good chance of getting pole. What about Adidas? He's on an outlap, so he won't be improving either. So who was it? Who was the last one? It was Cameron Kaboom, wasn't it? He was the last driver who's going to be able to set a lap, and he's currently purple through the middle sector. Going through turns 7 and 8 or 6 and 7. I can't quite remember, even though this track's only got 9 or 10 corners. Cameron Kaboom rounding the penultimate corner in the BMW. It's going to be him and Legion, the last 2 drivers to set laps here in qualifying. Can he move higher than 6? No, Legion can't. Not that way, it's the other way. Adidas goes up into 2nd place, and there's 2 tenths 2,000th, sorry, off of provisional pole, but puts his European BMW up into second place, and it is the front row of the grid as the car park forms its turn 1. That is it. Here is your grid for the start of the race. Bon Evil, Cameron Caboon, Tobster, Simon, Piero, Legion, Wolfie, Adidas, Spin Master, Santo and Madman Jam at the back of the grid for today's race. Okay, let's get this thing started then without messing anything up. I'm going to say good luck. Where is the good luck message? There it is. Host starts race, because I don't want to get this wrong, ladies and gentlemen. It's been quite a while since we've done this, and the game has gone through an update. Just want to make sure that I'm not actually entered for the race, which I'm not, and we can get this thing underway for the first race in Europe versus Asia mini-season, round 1 and 2. You can see all 11 drivers on the grid. They'll be going through their pre-race ritual of looking through the start-finish grid, which we cannot see. Let's get some info up on the screen. We can see the 5 lights at the top of the screen as they start counting down. We're going to be racing here in the Red Bull Ring, and it's lights out and away we go. Whilst we can't get to the spectator cam, I'm not too sure, but it's a great start from Cameron Kaboom ahead of Simon at Apex. We're going to have to look from the back of Cameron into turn 1. There's contact on the inside as Simon at Apex hits Bon Evil, who spins round on the exit of turn 1. Might have been collected by, I think that might have been Madman Jam or Wolfie in the background, but that is Bon Evil at the back of the grid. Unfortunately, you have to look at it like this for now because I can't quite get into the spectator cam. Legion down the inside of Simon at Apex. Someone's late on the brakes in the middle. That's Wolfie. Might have made slight contact with Tobster. I think that's Madman Jam running wide on the exit of turn 3. Let's get back into the spectator cam. There we go. Back up into the spectator cam. Cameron Kaboom leads the field away from Legion. Simon at Apex looking to try and go round the outside of the Mazda down in towards turn 4. That might have been Wolfie, on the inside of Adidas. 2 European drivers fighting away for 6 points. 6th place, sorry, not 6 points. Madman Jam and Spin Master going side by side. The Subaru versus the Ferrari. Europe versus Asia. Ireland versus Britain, and it looks like it's the Brit that comes out on top in that individual battle. Let's get all the info back up on the screen. Does Bon Evil have damage? No, he doesn't. Starting on the medium tyres, he's caught up to the back of Santo already. 8.8 seconds off the leader, Cameron Kaboom, who's on the soft compound tyres. I've just realised we can't actually see the timer. Now we can see the timer if we look to the bottom left. That is how long the race is. It's a 20-minute race, and we're currently a minute and a half of the way into the race. As Spin Master putting Legion under a lot of pressure, Piero putting Simon under pressure going through turn 1. Sorry, that's Tobster putting Piero under pressure. My apologies, as the Nissan looks to go for a move on the Hyundai. 2 Asian manufacturers working together, possibly. Yes, they are. Piero tucks into the tucks in behind. Oh my word! It's been a nightmare for me. It's been a nightmare for Adidas, trying to find his braking zone at turn 3. Rejoins the track nice and safely, but alongside Wolfie, who tucks in behind the back of the Aston Martin. Is he going to go for a move on his fellow teammate to the inside? No, not quite. Down at turn 4 as Tobbs is able to stay ahead of Piero for now. Looks like Wolfie and Adidas have gone off at turn 4. Whether there was contact between the two, I'm not too sure. They might have made some slight contact as they were fighting away for 6th place, but now the 2 European teammates are now down to 7th and 8th. It's been a nightmare for them, and it's going to get even worse as Spin Master picks up a 5/10 penalty, and you'll see the yellow bar indicating when he'll be slowing down to serve it. And that gets increased up to a whole second, which is going to feel like ages. He may even get overtaken by Adidas down towards the penultimate corner, and indeed he does. Adidas now up into 9th place. Spin Master drifting his way beautifully through the penultimate corner. Probably not the fastest way through that corner, but doing it in style. Cameron Kaboom on the soft compound of tyres leads Legion away also on the soft. Simon on the mediums. Tobster and the rest of the grid on the medium tyres apart from Spin Master. Santo on the hards. It's a 20-minute race. Tyres are on ×3 tyre wear. And the way this should work out is the softs are going to have the early advantage, of course, but they will be quite worn towards the end of the race. Kind of like an F1 sprint race in real life, when The majority of the grid start on mediums, and you get the one starting on softs. Here goes Simon at Apex down the inside of Legion, putting his Subaru ahead of the Mazda as they go wheel to wheel on the exit of the corner, but Legion has to tuck in behind for now. He can't fight this one, and not sure he's going to, considering it's his own teammate. Well, Cameron Kaboom is certainly flying waving the European flag for the team. Otherwise, it is very Asia dominated. The top 6 all in Asian cars, apart from the race leader, Cameron Kaboom, in the BMW. Legion now drops down to 3rd place. It's going to be under pressure from Topster. Goes wide at the penultimate corner, almost slides into the side of the Nissan, a familiar livery from the previous season, as Topster gets his way up into 3rd place in a podium position. Legion runs wide, loses 2 positions, and picks up a 5/10 penalty in the process. Here goes Piero going defensive into turn 1, not looking to turn his defence into attack as Topster runs wide onto the yellow sausage curb. Will the game penalise him and slap a 5/10 penalty to his name? Yes, it does, for putting all 4 wheels over the white line. Goes defensive to the inside, up the hill, in towards turn 3. Pierre's trying to go round the outside of the German, in towards turn 3. There's a little bit of contact between the two. Pierre runs wide and maintains 4th position for now, but for how much longer? As here goes Legion in 5th place. The Asian team not holding anything back here, battling away for the final spot on the podium. Legion's late on the brakes, almost goes into the back of Topster. Piero with the good old switcheroo fights back, and that's Simon off the track from 2nd place in the race. He's now dropped down to 5th place, a mistake from the Dutch international driver, and he's got a 5/10 penalty to serve in the next couple of corners. 3 drivers with 5/10 penalties. Piero the only one without, and may see himself close down that gap to the back of Topster's Nissan. And interestingly, Topster doesn't serve his penalty, so he must have got it. And we got it at turn 3. I don't know why he still got the penalty. Legion comes into the pits off the soft compound tyres, and now there is no mandatory pit stop in this race, so whether he wants to ditch the softs and go on to a set of mediums, we'll have to wait and see. We're almost halfway through the race, 6 minutes into a 20-minute race, and we're on lap 5. Cameron Kaboom has an 8-second lead, but his tyres are going to start to degrade. A reminder, this is not the only race tonight. We still have a 20-minute race in the wet to contend with after the 20 minutes in the dry. After the earlier mistakes, Bon Evil is back up into 4th place, and Simon is catching up to the back of him. 8/10 is the gap between the two, both on Team Asia. As a Legion comes out on the hard compound tyres in 9th place. Spin Master and Santo also into the pits, and it doesn't look like they've had any damage. So we've got some interesting strategies. There shouldn't normally be a scheduled pit stop in this race, unless for damage, but damage is on light for this mini season, which means it will repair itself after a lap. Topster now pulls over to the right hand side off the racing line to serve the 5/10 penalty, and through goes Piero up into 2nd place. The French driver is released and can now start the hunt for Cameron Kaboom, who has led this race pretty much from the start. Bon Evil in 4th place was only 8 seconds off Cameron Kaboom. Is now 11 seconds behind, but on the medium tyres, he's now only 2 seconds behind Topster, and he's only 4/10 off the fastest lap on a slower compound tyre. The battle for 2nd place, though, roars on between the German and the French. Not the first time that these two nationalities have gone at it, but the first time for a while it's been on a racetrack. My apologies for that one, but it had to be made. Topster now ahead of Piero in the Nissan. That's the Nissan with the power. This is certainly a power-favoured circuit, the Red Bull Ring, predominantly made of 3 long straights with 3 prime overtaking opportunities, and the battling for 2nd place is bringing 2 other Asian drivers into it. Well, 2 European drivers, but driving for Team Asia. Unfortunately, we don't have any Asian drivers, and maybe for the best, no offence, I don't mean it like that, I meant in terms of the network and the lag. Never mind, let's move on. But we welcome everyone, and oh dear, that was Piero's car blowing up into the barriers on the exit of turn 7, and there might be a bit of lag. Look at the back of that car. Oh dear, this is looking interesting. What's happening on our screen is they're probably not happening on the track. We've had this individual thing before, and I've only just noticed that the music is still playing in the background. Thankfully, I think it's non-copyrighted. But anyway, Bonnie Evil closing in onto the back of Piero. Only 1.1 seconds now separate the two drivers. We could have a four-way fight for second place here between the Nissan, the Hyundai, the Genesis and the Subaru. 4 different manufacturers all fighting and competing though for the same team. All these points are going to the same team in the constructors, well, the Continental Championship essentially. That's what we're going to call it. Now keep your eye on the bottom left as well, for one of two reasons. Firstly, the timing. We are 5 seconds away from being halfway through this race, but look at the tyre wear. Tobster, Piero, Bonnie on the mediums, and we're still half race distance to go. Those are Cameron Kaboom's softs. Can he make it to the end of the race in that BMW? Look at the gap, 9.1 at halfway through this race on lap 7. It's going to be a 14-lap race. It's going to be noticing the turning point. When do the mediums become the faster tyre? That will be the key factor in this race. On board with the cockpit cam of Piero as he hunts down Tobster in front. Let's actually go down to, we'll stick with Piero for now, as he hunts down the Nissan in front of him. Going through turn 1, Piero in a lovely pink suit. White and pink suit. Let's have a look at everyone's suits actually, and helmets. You can see Tobster's helmet that he ran from his the last season we'd done. It's a Petronas Mercedes suit for Bonnie Evil with the Lewis Hamilton themed helmet, and it's default suits and helmets for Simon the Apex. Actually, I'm going to get distracted here. Let's look at everyone's helmets and suits. Cameron in a nice yellow. I rate it. Oh, we got Spin Master off at the middle sector, turns 6 and 7. We got distracted with his suits. As Legion, I can't actually see. It's the black suits, Man Jam. Why are we looking over to the right? Oh, it's a right-hand drive. Never mind. That's why we're looking at the right. Never mind. My apologies. Let's get back from the suits and back to the action. Simon the Apex has just dropped off the back of Bonnie Evil slightly. Now 9/10 of a second is the gap. But look at the gap that Bonnie's been able to close to Piero. 4.5 tenths between 4th and 3rd. 8 tenths between 3rd and 2nd. And about a second, 2 seconds between 5th and 2nd place. Simon runs wide at the final corner. That's certainly going to be a 5. It is. It's not a 5/10 penalty. It's a 1 second penalty. As Bonnie Evil looks for a move down the inside in towards turn 1 of Piero, who doesn't really fight this one too much, maybe because he knows if he can get a better exit, he can have another go. Down in towards turn 3, let's ride on board with the rear wing. Let's go with that. The rear wing from the Genesis. Will Piero send one to the inside? No, he doesn't. Just backs off of it in the end. I wish I had the keyboards. We don't have to keep flicking through each individual camera. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can announce we're at the turning point in this race. Either Tobster's had a really good last lap, or Cameron Kaboom's tyres are starting to wear off. Look at the gap. It was 9.1 2 laps ago. It's now 8.1, 8.2. The gap is going down. We could have a race on our hands here for the final 7 minutes in this race. As Cameron Kaboom's tyres start to wear off, the pack on the mediums start to turn the gear up a little bit and get a wriggle on. Start closing down that gap to the leader. Let's have a look. Oh no, sorry, that's Simon, that Apex. I think his tyres may start to be dropping off as well on the mediums. Doesn't look like he's got the pace of the cars in front of him, or maybe he's made a mistake. If we look at his last lap time at 29 flats compared to 31.7, he must have made a mistake. Also served that penalty. Speaking of, Piero with a 1 second penalty, that's going to bring Simon the Apex back into the fight as Spin Master gets right in the way of Simon the Apex. Down and towards turn wide, currently running in 10th place. The marshals waving the blue flags to tell him to move out of the way and get off the racing line. And the stewards may deem that to be worthy of a penalty. We'll have to wait and see what they say after the race. But Spin Master currently running 1 minute and 3 seconds behind Legion, but is still scoring a point, and he's gone off again at turn 3. Just lets Wolfie go through, and it's not been a great race from Spin Master. The gap 8 seconds now between Topster and Camera Kaboom, 1.5 seconds between Topster and Bon Evil. If you guys are looking to see how long's left in the race, well, we're on lap 10, but if you look into the bottom left, we're 14 minutes and 40 seconds into a 20-minute race. Unfortunately, we don't get the timer underneath the leaderboard. The timing screen on the right-hand side like we've done on GT Sport. They seem to have removed a lot of useful features for some unnecessary reason. But hey-ho, we can roll with it. It's not game-breaking, and therefore it's not necessary that they need to patch it immediately. All the drivers will have it, so they know how long is left. We just have to know how long we've had. For some strange, bizarre reason, that might have been Bon Evil running wide at turn 1. Could have just been the camera angle. Doesn't get a penalty. I think he stayed perfectly legal on the track. But let's have a look in the chat. Let's welcome everyone. Hello. Welcome. Let's get some conversation going. Who do you think's going to win the race? Do you think Camera Kaboom's soft tyres are going to last the final 5 minutes? Look at them. They're as red as a Ferrari. There's not much life left in them. They're about 50% worn, but trust me, 50% worn on GT7 is a lot different to 50% worn on F122, for example. You really do start to feel the tyre wear, and it's about this time where the mediums will probably be quicker. But what's really interesting then, I think this is something that's fascinating about GT7 in comparison to GT Sport. Go back to the GT Sport streams. Watch them, honestly. A, because they're great races, honestly, some of the best racing I've ever seen. But it was very dominant, i.e. in terms of the car selection. We always had Aston Martins. We always had a Lexus on the grid. There was always a certain car. It's like looking at the Premier League winners in the last 10, 20 years. It's always the same teams, if that makes sense. It's not like Formula E. It's never a different winner every race. But on GT7, look at the variation we've got in this event. We've got the BMW. We've never seen this BMW on the grid before. I think it's the Z4. But it's winning a race. It's winning a race. Nissan, it's been I don't want to say unpopular in a bad way, but it's not been a very popular car. It's only been used by a few drivers in previous streams. We've got the Genesis, which was added to this game. That's been, well, yeah, but it's three different cars in the top 3. We've got the Hyundai, the Subaru, yes, the Astons, but the other Subaru, the Mazda and the Ferrari. We've got different cars, 9 different cars on this grid, I think. And it's so good to see different drivers using different cars, not necessarily dependent on the calendar, but because they're good cars now. Piero, with a 5-10 penalty though, may be conceding the position for 4th place. Simon Apex goes through on the left-hand side and up into 4th place. Piero will have to work hard to win the position back. But I do like seeing the variation and difference in cars. You go back to the previous mini-season in Group 3 where we had the Nürburgring, Monza and hang on, I do remember. What was it? What was the last mini-season? What was season 1? I'm not going to stop thinking about this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to start thinking about it until... I know there'll be some of you screaming at this, watching it on your phone or your laptop, going, come on man, it was You remember it well. Deep Forest Raceway, that was it. That was it. Deep Forest Raceway. I was even talking about it earlier on in the stream. Meanwhile, Topster with a 5/10 penalty. That could be crucial towards the end of this race. Because Bon Evil's only 7/10 behind. The same with Simon at Apex. He's got a 5/10 penalty and he's only 3/10 ahead of Piero. Looks like Cameron Kaboom's tyres are just about holding on. We've got a minute left in this race. So the next lap will be the last lap of the race. We've got a fight for second place and a fight for fourth. None of which will matter in the Continental Championship, but all will be crucial points in the driver's standings. Here goes Bon Evil now to the outside of Topster and gets the move done. Piero does to Simon what Simon done to Piero on the last lap, serves the penalty and flows through up into fourth place as Cameron Kaboom starts the final lap of the race with only 30 seconds left on the timer. Here goes Topster looking for a move, going in towards turn one, couldn't quite make anything of it. What about Simon on Piero? Their attempt to separate the two, going in up the slight kink in towards turn one. Let's have a look back up between Bon Evil and Topster. Topster goes through. There's Bon Evil on the right hand side with the inside down in towards turn three. Topster runs wide, cuts inside with the old switcheroo. Let's just have a quick look to see if Simon sends one on Piero. He does, to the inside line, goes deep. Piero with a classic switchback. Topster with the straight line speed advantage from the Nissan gets up into second place, but Bonnie sends one to the inside, lates on the brakes. Can he keep it clean, not make contact with his teammate? Yes, he just about does. Topster with enough room on the outside. Piero going defensive. They're holding off Simon at Apex as Topster out to the inside at turn 5. Almost forces Bonnie off the track. There might have been some slight contact between the two. Drifting his way through turn 5 in towards turn 6. These two are still going side by side. Piero ahead of Simon at Apex on the last lap as Topster makes his way through up into second place. Bon Evil's going to try and fight this one back though. The German goes defensive to the inside. There's only 2 more corners to go as Cameron Kaboom rounds the final corner for the final time this race, and he wins here in Austria. Takes the checkered flag as Topster in second place might just about hold off to Bon Evil. Can he do it up to the line? It's a photo finish separated by 0.2 of a second. Almost looks like Bonnie Topster was going into the wall, but we've got another drag race for fourth as Piero finishes 400 ahead of Simon at Apex. Wolfie comes home and finishes in 6th place. It was a replacement for Ted. And Adidas in 7th place for Team Europe in the Aston Martin Legion. Madman Jar and Spin Master in 8th, 9th and 10th respectively. But wow, what an end to the race. What an end to the return of GT7. Adidas crosses the line and finishes in 7th place. But it was a dominant victory for Cameron Kaboom out in front on those worn soft compound tyres. Maybe that might make other drivers consider it at Fuji. But a great battle between Topster and Bon Evil sees the German ahead of the Brit. Piero narrowly finishing ahead of Simon at Apex after a drag race to the line, and finishes in 4th place. And well, now it's time to say congratulations to Big Ball, Cameron Kaboom, who takes home the first victory. I need to save the race replay so I don't forget. Bear with me on this because just a few more things I need to do before I change the settings. There we go, edit event settings. So for the second race it's going to be another qualifying session, but instead it's going to be on rain 4, cloudy with rain. Let's change it to the afternoon, because why not? Equal conditions on, because otherwise it will, what would it do? It will stop raining, and we don't want it to stop raining. But I think that's everything. Yes, that's everything I need to do. Don't want to get something wrong. There we go. Oh yes, rain. Oh yes. Here we go. This is what we want to see. This is what we want to see. Rain, rain. On GT7, we've only had one wet race in the past, and that caused quite the upsets for the top 3 at the Nürburgring. And we're back. Piero has disconnected. But good luck. No, we don't need to say good luck. So quali 10-minute quali has started. I'm not going to send it just yet because I'm just going to make sure everyone gets back. Gonna wait for everyone to join the lobby. I can see the names at the top. So yeah, we've got another 10-minute qualifying because we can't do custom grid, and as I'm awarding 2 points for pole, I think it'd be unfair to do that. Some drivers might be better in the wet than the dry. So hey ho. Someone's saying I should drive on track. Shall I drive? Do you want me to do a lap? When these guys go out for their qualifying, I do a lap of a hot lap for you, a lap guide, track guide, whatever. We should say good luck. Is anyone out on track? Yeah, we've got a few drivers out on track. Well, they're only on their out laps. Let's not use the Ferrari. Let's go. Well, there's no. Let's go. We'll stick with the Ferrari. Have I got intermediate tyres? No, that means I have to buy intermediate tyres. But just to show you how treacherous the conditions are, let's do that. We'll put the intermediates on. Just to do a demonstration as to how wet it is on track. We've got some nice clean air behind. So, we'll have a look. We've got a few drivers on inters and a few on wet. So this is the conditions that the drivers will be racing in. You can see in the bottom right, the weather radar showing full blue skies. So they're not that bad. You can see the grip. If I just stop on the track and do a burnout, it's not actually that bad. There's not a lot of wheels. Oh, hello. He's not on his lap, and I know he's not on his lap, so before you get the comments in the chat saying blah blah blah, because I'm at Apex, you can see he's number 1, which means he's the first to start his lap time in qualifying. Heading up into turn 1, he's opted for the wet compounded tyres, Legion on the intermediates, Topster on the wets, Wolfie on the wets, Spin Master on the wets, Adidas on the inters, Kamikaze on the inters, Bon Evil's on the racing mediums, Man Jam on the wets, Piero on the inters, and Santa on the wets. We've actually got a mix of tyres. Interesting. My apologies for what I'm about to do. Don't worry, I'm not going to commit murder or anything. I don't want it to sound like that. But I am just going to take a short break to get some refreshments. I'll leave the stream on camera on Simon That's Apex on his quali lap. We can go for a silent onboard hot lap. There we go. I'll leave you guys with this. I'll be back in no more than 3 minutes. Enjoy the stream. Yeah, I won't be long. My sincere apologies for the delay and the silence in the past few minutes, but we've come back, well, I've come back to see Sam and Apex nearly spotted it on the exit of turn 3. So Gavra is currently in first place on the intermediate tyres. Topster 1.4 seconds behind on the wets, and Legion in third on inters. Simon Apex at 136.5. So you can see the difference between the top and the bottom essentially. We've got a few drivers who haven't set laps. I'm not on the grid, don't you worry about that. That won't be there for the start of the race. Santos into the pits off of the wets, it seems. Jam also into the pits. Have we got everyone? Let me just double check. Yes, we have got everyone. Just going to quickly check to see if we've got any comments in the chats. Hello, welcome everyone to the stream. This is for the second race at the Red Bull Ring. As you can see, it is a wet race, or a wet qualifying session that we are in, and then we're going to have 20 minutes of wet weather action. Here in Austria, Cameron Kaboom is currently on provisional pole position, 1.6 seconds ahead of Piero. Forgot to do it earlier. 4 minutes left. There we go. If anyone's looking for co-commentators, that would be nice. I would love some company. Find someone to do a hot lap with. Should we go with Piero? Let's go with Piero. Let's do a hot lap. On board with Piero. So going into the final couple of corners to start his lap in the Hyundai. There is a spin master spinning in the Ferrari as Piero runs the final corner to start his 5th lap, or his 4th proper racing lap, as he moves up into second place, a second behind Cameron Kaboom, but can he go even quicker with the pressure? Braking in towards turn 1, about the 100-metre board, nice and cautious over the yellow sausage curb on the inside. Foot flat to the floor, up the hill in these wet conditions, as the rain smacks against the windscreen. Braking just before the 100-metre board, going in towards turn 3, hits the apex nicely on the inside, doesn't run over the yellow sausage curve on the inside. That will probably unsettle the car quite a bit. Now down in towards turn 4, downhill we're braking so, around the 100-metre board, down in towards second gear, gets the apex nicely on the exit of the corner. Through turn 5 and 6. Doesn't look like he's lost a lot of time. Someone's gone off at turn 4. He's a 10th up on his personal best. He's gone a little bit wide through turn 6 in towards 7 now. Those yellow gates is where you'd serve a time penalty. Luckily for Piero, he hasn't collected any on his lap. Going through the final 2 corners, braking at the 50-metre board. Down in towards 3rd place. Looks like he's got lots of understeer. The car just kept going forward, it seemed. Could have been the way that it looks in the spectator cam, but around the final corner, up to the line, doesn't improve, misses out on improving by a 10th of a second, as Cameron still leads the field away by 1 second. See Bon Evil down in 8th place on the intermediate tyres, 6.1 seconds off provisional pole as things stand. We've got 2 minutes left in qualifying as Tops now goes to the provisional pole spot. I'm waiting for the timer in the bottom left to hit 13, so effectively there's only 1 minute left, but I said 2 minutes, so we'll go 2 minutes, so 14 minutes is when the qualifying will be up. As Tobster, with a beautiful lap on the Inters, goes provisional pole, 800ths clear of Cameron Kaboom, who's 6/10 clear of Simon at Apex, 4/10 clear of Piero. What can Bonneville do? Up to the line, goes up into 4th place, improves by 5.4 seconds and gets a clean lap in. Someone's just coming up to the line to finish their lap. It's Adidas and the Aston Martin. Can he get ahead of Legion? No, he can't. Doesn't improve on his personal best of a 1:36.0. Puts him about a second and a half off pole position. What about Piero? Through the final corner he goes now. The spray kicking up at the back of the car. As looks like it's intermediate conditions. It's not too heavy, but it's certainly not bone dry. Improves by just under 4/10 and goes up ahead of Bonneville into 4th place. A lot of drivers opting now for the intermediate tyres, deeming the wets not to be the quickest way to go. Madman Jam though, still on the wet compound of tyre. Unfortunately, we've had to put the weather on equal so it doesn't dry up, because that's what happens when you put it on wet, it will dry up. Tobster improving by a 1/10 of a second, goes 2/10 clear of Cameron Kaboom. 30 seconds left in this qualifying session. Tobster leads Cameron, both drivers on the front row ahead of Simon and Piero. Madman Jam, the only one on the wet compound tyres as things stand. He's ahead of, he's got Spin Master also on the wet. Maintains 9th place. What about Santo on the Inters? It looks like he's backing off with his lap, letting Tobster go through on the right. And these are the last laps, so unfortunately, Adidas won't get an... We'll get Adidas have another go, because I'm late to type in the message. So Adidas will be the last driver to complete a lap here in qualifying. Who's going to be the first? Piero's going to be the first to finish his lap as he rounds the final corner. Just about goes onto the curb. I think that's going to be legal within the rules of the game. It is legal. Improves and misses out on 4th place by 0.002 of a second. Who's behind him on track? It wasn't Simon, it was Cameron Kaboom, who's up into 2nd place. Can't quite get pole position away from Tobster, who rounds the final corner just behind TCR Legion. Runs a little bit wide over the curb. Is that going to be a 5/10 penalty for the German? No, it's not. Can he extend his advantage out on top? No, it's not. He can't. But it is provisional pole for Tobster on his return to the GT7 leagues. Santo can't improve. What about Wolfie? Can he improve? He can't improve. He misses out by 0.6 of a second as drivers park their cars at turn 1 to indicate that they've finished qualifying. Here goes Simon now up to the line. He doesn't improve either. Does Piero get another chance? No, I think Piero was the first driver to finish a lap. Someone has gone off. It's Madman Jam who's spun on his qualifying attempt. Who's coming up to the line? It's Bonneville. Can he improve? No, he's backed off of his lap. Who else is there? We've got Adidas up to the line. He was the last driver, I remember, because I didn't send the message before. Up to the line, does improve by 0.2, goes up into 6th place. And now we can start this race. Where's the let's have a clean race? There it is. Have a good race. Have a clean race. We can get this race underway. 10 seconds until lights out. And to run through your grid, it will be Tobster starting this race on pole position ahead of Simon the Apex in 2nd. Bonneville in 3rd. That's not the grid on the right hand side. That's just the entry list. Never mind. I thought for a second that Polyphony had actually done something good. There we go. So it's Tobster on pole position ahead of Cameron Kaboom. Bonneville in 3rd. Simon in 4th. Piero in 5th. Adidas in 6th. Legion in 7th. Wolfie in 8th. Hopefully we don't get the glitch like we did last time. It doesn't look like we are. Oh no, we are. And for Tobster, it's Lights out, and away we go. It's a long hold initially. We get back into the spectator cam. Cameron Caboon with a beautiful start. Topster dropping down into third place as Bon Evo now gets ahead up into second place. May look for a move on Cameron Caboon going in towards turn one. There's been a big chance and a massive crash. Who is off? Madman Jam's off, but who else got caught up in that? Topster got caught up in that. That was an absolute massive crash. Madman Jam with damage, Adidas with rear damage. Who's to say who caused the crash? It was hard to tell. It looked like an absolute mess down at the first corner. Legion just giving Pierre a little bit of a tap on the exit of turn 3, but from the pole sitter now down to 9th place with no, has escaped with no damage somehow. Pierre now under pressure from Legion, going down the hill in towards turn 4. That's Wolfie late onto the brakes, down the inside into 4th place he goes, puts his Aston Martin ahead of the Mazda and waving the flag proudly for Team Europe. Someone had left, I think that was Madman Jam, yes it was. Adidas now at the back of the grid, but the stewards probably will have a look at that lap 1 incident, because that wasn't a minor nudge, that appeared to be a proper shunt. Drama at the start of this race. Cameron Caboon leads the field away at the end of lap 1, ahead of Bon Evil, ahead of Piero. And Wolfie, it looks like he's doing a lot better in the wet than he is the dry. But having just said that, he was shunted from Legion. He might have got a tap from Simon, and it's carnage at the final corner. Santo has hit the back of Legion, who couldn't see anything in the spray. All the tyre smoke that had been kicked up at the final corner. This wet weather race causing absolute calamities for a lot of these drivers. The 2 Americans now at the back of the grid. Simon at apex, down to 8th place. But it looked like no one could see anything, and from the back of the grid, Topster's now back up into 4th place. Wolfie's dropped down to 6th place after the initial contact from the Mazda. Spin Master up into 5th place. Wolfie goes down the inside though of the Irishman. Can he slow it down in time? Yes he does. Spin Master leaves him the room, runs wide, goes off the track, and maintains ahead of Wolfie for now. Will the Irishman have a go on his Irish teammate and his continental teammate? Spin Master's gone deep, he's late on the brakes and he's gone off the track as well. He now drops down into 8th place. But the damage has been fixed for the American cars, for the American drivers. Sorry, damage only being light on light in this this mini season race. Doesn't mean it will affect how much damage you get. It just means it will repair itself halfway through. It's quite random actually. And that is a spin from Spin Master. I was too busy looking at the damage to have a look to see if there was contact. So I'll have another look at it on the stream, because my stream is a little bit delayed, purposefully delayed, just so I can have a look at it by myself. And now we just lost it through turn 7. On the entry of turn 7, this race causing an upset for a lot of drivers. Someone's round at the back, that is Santo, struggling to find reverse, and he's got the car span round. But we turn our attention back up to the leading 2 of Cameron Caboon and Bon Evil. Down in towards turn 3. Will Bonnie send one to the inside? He thought about it, but can't quite go for it. Piero with a 1 second penalty in 3rd place, 4 seconds ahead and behind of all the cars around him. But Topster, from being punted into the shadow realm, his car disappeared on lap 1. It took me about 30 seconds to find it. He's now up into 4th place and only 9 seconds off the leader, Wolfie in 5th. But the stewards would need to have a look into the lap 1 incident for sure, because we do not allow that sort of those types of incidents to occur. They shouldn't be let on the hook, if that makes sense. They shouldn't just say it can't just happen like that, if that makes sense. They're not the standards we're used to seeing. Having said that, and I know a lot of drivers involved in that incident will probably be against me on this, but the crash physics in this game are ridiculously stupid. You could tap someone at 3 miles per hour and they could get sent halfway down the straight. It's almost like bumper car physics, to be honest. I've done this with a few mates at the Nürburgring. I was stopped on the exit of turn 1. Someone approached me literally about 5 miles per hour and you kind of rubber band it away as if you've been hit at 20 miles per hour or 20 kilometers per hour. The crash physics are really weird in this game. You could tap someone and get sent to the Shadow Realm. But I'm sure the stewards will have a look into all the collisions. Type !claim into the Discord chat to get access to the claims chat to post your incident. Battle for 7th place between Legion and Apex, as the American is ahead of the Dutchman. 2 Japanese manufacturers scoring points for Team Asia. Actually, how many Europeans are there? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is a 4 versus 7 in this race, but that is not the fault of the Asian team being dominant. That is those from Team Europe not showing up. Either that, or some people have gone into the wrong team and they haven't realised. Hopefully that one's not the case. Simon and Legion now going wheel to wheel in the battle for 7th place. The Subaru and the Mazda fighting away through turn 7. The battle for 7th. As they're still going wheel to wheel, the Subaru and the Mazda. Simon and Legion giving us a really nice battle for 7th place. They're still side by side, making their way through the penultimate corner. Simon trying to hold it round the outside of Legion, but he gets the move down up into 7th place. Meanwhile, Cameron Kaboom is now gapped Bon Evil by 1.2 seconds in this race. We're 5 laps in, 7 minutes in, so we've got 13 left to go. Topster is actually gaining onto the back of Pierre. The gap now 1.4 seconds. Doesn't look like he's got a good exit there. Might have had a bit of wheel spin. Now 1.6, 1.7 on the exit of turn 3. Down the back straight in towards turn 4. The crowd strike, not cloud. I keep saying cloud strike. The crowd strike, Nissa. Famously used in the Group 3 Sardinia races from last GT Sport season. Oh, someone might have gone off. That looks like Adidas has made a mistake down at turn 4. Look at the deltas rising and falling for the cars around him. Looks like he's gone deep into 4. And he's now lost a lot of time to the cars both ahead and behind. Cameron Kaboom finishes lap 5 and starts lap 6, 1.2 seconds ahead of Bon Evil and in the lead of this race. There's a slow forming battle for 3rd place between Piero and Topster, with the German being punted at turn 1 and lap 1, slowly making his way back through the field. He's up into 4th place and hunting down the Frenchman for 3rd. Wolfie's having a good race in 5th place, much better than his performance in the dry. So maybe Wolfie just, he's got more pace in the wet compared to his competitors, it seems. But scoring some good points for Team Europe. Not scoring some good points, still scoring points though, is Spin Master, who has spun once again at the penultimate corner in the Ferrari. No, that was harsh. Is still scoring points. These points could be crucial. Those 2 points for 9th place, they could be crucial at the end of the day. Points are points. Simon has actually got ahead of Adidas. Apologies for missing that in the midfield, as Adidas has sent one down the inside of Simon, who's hit the Subarus, taken avoiding action, almost span round, but that might be a penalty coming Adidas's way after the race if Simon decides to claim on it. It was a late move to the inside, which got Adidas up into 6th place, and I'm sure the relationship between these two might have just gone down a few levels, but we'll have to wait and see how the on-track action unfolds. Hopefully they keep it clean and respectable between the two, as looks like we might have actually a battle for 4th place. 3rd place indeed we do, because Dobbs is going for a move on the inside of Piero, and he's moved his way up into 3rd place, down in towards turn 1. Piero with a good exit makes his way up for the hill in towards turn 3. Topster goes defensive to the inside early, forces Piero to go on the left hand side of the track, right hand side of your screen to the outside as they climb the little hill up in towards turn 3, the hairpin that Piero has outbroken himself for, and he's gone wide off the track. But having taken the wider line, will get a good run. We ride on board with the Hyundai chasing down the Nissan. Is he going to send one to the inside? Yes, he does. He's late on the brakes. Can he slow it down in time? He makes contact with Topster, forces him wide off the track. You can see the gravel being kicked up from the left of Topster's tyres. Is Piero slowing down to let him go through? Yes, he does. Piero slows down and lets Topster go back through. Good sportsmanship from Piero. Knew he made the mistake. Knew the move wasn't as clean as he was hoping it'd be. And lets Topster go back through. Up into 3rd place, but has allowed Wolfie to catch back up into 5th place. That to take a quick little drinks break as we're halfway through this race. We've got 8 minutes left to go, and we've got the battle for 3rd place. It's definitely heating up a few notches between Topster and Piero. Spin Master comes out of the pit, might have got a 3-second time penalty. Indeed he has gone for crossing over the white line. Hopefully doesn't get involved in this battle for 4th place, currently behind Wolfie on track. But riding on board with the rear of Topster's car, you can see the headlights illuminating the spray coming off the back of the Nissan. You can see Piero still in range. He's 6.5 tenths now behind the Nissan as they make their way down through turn 4 on lap 8 out of however many laps we do in 20 minutes. I think it's going to be about 14 as well. There's not too much of a difference between the wet and the dry. Maybe about 5 or 6 seconds, I think. Can't remember what the lap times were in the dry. No, it's about 8 seconds, I think. 7 seconds difference. So in only a 20-minute race, it doesn't actually make that much of a difference as Cameron Kaboom is leading the way. We've got some position changes at the back. Yes, we do. Legion and Apex now going side by side. Simon with the inside line in the Subaru through turns 6 and 7. Does he get ahead? We can't actually see where Legion is, but they're still side by side. The battle though is about to come to a swift end as Apex serves a 5/10th penalty and falls behind the Mazda. Great racing between those two. Clean, fair racing as well. Someone's gone off at the final corner. That's Spin Master once again. Yellow flag's being waved, so no overtaking through the yellow flag zone. It kind of gives Legion a little bit of breathing space as he has Simon closing in behind him. Cameron Kaboom though, going back to what I was going to say, is leading this race now by 3.2 seconds ahead of Bon Evil. And Spin Master has disconnected. We're only now down to 9 drivers. Ignore my name on the leaderboard. Just means I'm in the lobby still. Someone's gone off the track. That's Wolfie, who's gone late on the brakes. Once again, down at turn 4. I was going to say once again, but it wasn't him who went off last time. And Goloff has made a mistake, and that's putting him out of the battle for 4th place, but he's still going to maintain 5th position for now as he's 25 seconds ahead of Adidas in 6th place. It's now a 2-horse race for the final podium position between Topster and Piero. Cameron Kaboom leading this race, although the gap has come down by about a second. So Bon Evil turning up the engine, it seems, with 5.5 minutes left to go. Blue flags being waved for Santo as they make their way up in towards turn 1. Santo really lifting off the throttle to let the race leaders go through. Fair, clean, respectable. It's what we love to see. Riding on board though with Piero's Hyundai, you can see he's got the Nissan in his sights. Topster going onto the curve at turn 1 to use all the track available to get the widest line, take as much speed through the corner as he can. The windscreen wipers doing their job on Piero's car. Good to know that one thing works in this game. No, I'm joking. They have, as much as we like to hate polyphony for how this game has come about, it has gone a long way since it launched. A lot of bugs have been fixed, although online servers are still not the best, but we still can work with it. It looks workable, and we've got racing. That's what we love to see. Welcome everyone in the chat. Make sure to drop your comments in the chat. Say hi, and you'll get a special shout out, perhaps. I don't know. Currently got a good number of viewers watching. Welcome everyone, from wherever you're watching in the world, whether it's good morning, good night, or good afternoon. I hope you are having a wonderful day / night / evening / afternoon / morning from wherever you are watching. If you're in Europe, Asia, Africa, America, Oceania, Antarctica, or somewhere in the Pacific or Atlantic. Can't discriminate the oceans, can we? But Piero has dropped off the back of Topster a little bit. The gap now 1.2 seconds between Topster and Piero. I was going to say the German and the Frenchman, but then I just said German as Topster's name. It has been a while since I've done commentary, so forgive me. This is my first one in about it's going to be longer than 5 weeks. 6 weeks? 7 weeks? It's almost been 2 months since the first mini-season. Oh, my apologies. Let's get the info back on the screen. You can see the driver's telemetry at the bottom of the screen. Their gears, their revs, their throttle and brake inputs, their damaged tyre wear, their fuel, their headlights, the assists they're running. That's what I like to see. We can see what assists everyone's using. If we pay attention to the middle of the bottom right, you can see 4 circles. One of them is the headlights in the top left. The bottom left is traction control. Top right is steering assist, and the bottom right stability control, I think, or counter assists, I think. I don't know. Basically, when they're white, they're on. That's what that means. Wolfie hasn't got his headlights on, nor does Legion. So I think they are going to be showing the black and orange flag. Is it the black and orange flag? I think it's the black and orange flag. If you have it's the black and orange flag. If you have damage or unsafe car that needs to be repaired, doesn't need to be repaired. Just needs to turn the headlights on. Thank you. It's like when we get that glitch where drivers aren't wearing their helmets. It's like, whoa. But where's the time gone? Because we've only got 2 minutes to go. You can see in the bottom left with 17 minutes and 48 seconds into this 20-minute long race. And we've done 12 laps. I say we've done 12 laps. Cameron's done 12 laps. Santo's only done 11. But Simon at Apex and Legion are still having a thrilling battle for 6th place. As he's going down the inside and towards the final corner. Gets up into 6th place, almost hits the barrier that sticks out on the right hand side to narrow off the pit lane. That would have been an embarrassing crash. Oh, I've knocked my water bottle over. Apologies for that. Simon's ran very wide through turn 1. He could get a 5/10 penalty. Having said that, though, he might get away with it in the sense that Legion has a 1.5 second time penalty, so we'll slow down even longer down the Dutchman in front. That could be that battle over. Cameron, though, continues to gap Bon Evil in the fur for the lead of this race. It's been a dominant performance from him in the BMW. The first time ever that this car has been used in Gavra racing, bearing in mind we started GT Sport in 2020. That could be a lie. But no, I think it's the truth. I think we did start GT Sport in 2020. So for 2 years, the BMW Z4 has never been used. And it's only going to go on to win the first 2 races of the Europe versus Asia mini-season. With 30 seconds left on the clock, this is now the last lap for the lead drivers, and I think these drivers as well will get to complete this lap. And they're next. What can I say? It is a team's championship at the end of the day, but we will be awarding the trophy for the drivers' championship at the end of it as well. Cameron Camboon well, he didn't quite get pole position in this race, but he has certainly got his name in the stars, it seems. The checkered flag has dropped for Adidas, who finishes in 8th, and Sands Hill finished in 9th. But from the turn 1 calamities on lap 1, saw pole sitter Topster plummet to the back of the grid. He entered Germany and Poland for a brief second before finding the track again. Cameron Kaboom picked up the pieces of other drivers' incidents. He rounds the final corner. He won in the Red Bull Ring. He wins in the Red Bull Ring, both in the wet and the dry. He flashes his headlights to win the Austrian Grand Prix. Pierre Bonny will finish in 2nd place behind, but it is good points for Team Asia with another driver, Topster, finishing in 3rd, and Pierre just missing out on the podium in 4th place. But the 2nd place driver for Team Europe, 5th place on the track, is Wolfie, replacing Ted in the Aston Martin, finishes in 5th. Simon at Apex and Legion were putting on a great show for us in the battle for 6th and 7th place, but penalties, and it looks like an incident for Legion, put an end to their battles, but it was a great battle nevertheless. Simon at Apex, though, rounds the final corner for Team Subaru, for Team Asia, and will cross the line to finish in 6th place, and Legion for Team Asia as well in the Mazda finishes in 7th place. Some good points all round, but the majority of which go into Asia. And without having done the calculations now, it does seem that Asia are ahead in the Continental Championship. Kaboom, though, Cameron Kaboom certainly ahead, leading the drivers' standings, but keep an eye out in the Discord chats for the updated standings over the weekend. But your top 3, Cameron Kaboom, Bon Evil and Topster, here from the 2nd race at the Red Bull Ring. So there you have it. It's the predominantly yellow suit that takes another victory here at the Red Bull Ring. And well, we've had 2 good races. It's been a good return. Actually, can we see the replay from here? No, you can't. We can only just save the replay. But there you have it. Outro time. Yes. What am I doing? It's been a while. My mind's actually gone blank. My mind has gone blank. Stay tuned for next week's race at Fuji, the Japanese track, the home soil of Team Asia. Some burnouts from Cameron Kaboom. Those are lovely donuts, by the way. Lovely stuff. But yeah, stay tuned next week, same time, same place, for the race. 2 races at Fuji, 1 in the dry and 1 in the wet. Also on Gavra Racing, we've got the F1 Summer League. I don't think it's being streamed, unfortunately, but that's also going ahead. And yeah, that's it really. We've had some great racing, and make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel Gavra Racing if you can. Follow us on Twitch if you have Prime and all that. And yeah, goodbye everyone. We'll see you next week. I don't think I need to say anything else other than stay safe and goodbye.